All right, everybody, here we go. We're gonna try another Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't think we can get any worse. So on February 18th of this year, Netflix is bringing us a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. Now then, this franchise has probably one of the worst runs of any horror franchise. They seem to fail on a regular basis with this thing, but I think this time around it might be pretty good. They dropped the trailer for it a little over a week ago, which is interesting being that February 18th is like just around the corner, and they were really dragging their feet about getting a trailer put out, where most people, they're dropping trailers a year before a movie even comes out. So it's a little odd that they are a little behind schedule on the trailer. Now then, let's look at the fact that this is being put out by Netflix. Some people are a little concerned about the film because it's not getting a theatrical release, but when it comes to Netflix and horror, they've been pretty good at it. I mean, they did the Fear Street Trilogy, which was very good, and they did the Babysitter films, which have been very good as well. So they do really good with horror, whether it's something that they're just releasing or something that they actually were involved with the filmmaking. So we have 1 point for that Netflix has got a pretty good history with releasing horror films that they're directly involved with. They also have Fede Alvarez doing the story for this movie, and I know I butchered his name, and I'm really sorry. I'm here to mess up people's names and chew bubblegum, and I am fresh out of bubblegum. So anyways, Mr. Alvarez is involved in the making of this film. In case you did not know, this is not his first time around doing a remake or a spin-off of a popular horror franchise. He did the Evil Dead remake or reboot or re-sequel or whatever you want to classify it as, but in case you haven't seen that movie, he did a fantastic job with that film. He did a great job of doing a realistic storyline of why people are at a cabin in the woods, why they're not leaving. The backstory was done very well. There was the majority of the film was done with practical effects with only a little bit of CGI, which, as you know, with the horror community, we all know that's the best way to do it. You always do practical effects, which he's a big fan of, so we know that's going to be good. And also in the Evil Dead, I mean, he just had one of those most epic endings. I mean, the final girl battled the final evil in a rainstorm of blood and cut the final evil person in half with a chainsaw. So he's very familiar with cutting people with chainsaws, practical effects, and remakes in the horror genre. So we have a pretty good starting point here with the whole concept. Then also we have the fact that this is a direct sequel to the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, written and directed by the iconic filmmaker of the horror world known as Tobe Hooper. Now then, they've done this before where they did a direct sequel to the film, and that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, which I'm only one of 7 people who actually liked that movie, because everyone else hated the fact that the film did a direct sequel but did not apparently understand math, and the timeline made no sense. Math has never been my friend, so I was able to look past the math and kind of just enjoy the movie. And based on what we had gotten previously from all these different sequels and reboots in this franchise, it wasn't that bad. But another thing that tells me that this is going to be very good is the whole concept of it. So let's see. Let's take a movie from the 70s about a masked killer, and let's go ahead and do a direct sequel of it, but we don't do like a sequel like name. We just use the same name again. We ignore the events from all the other sequels and triples and whatever. We just ignore that ever happened in that storyline, and we bring back the final girl from that movie and make her get revenge. That's a concept. I think we've done that concept before, and it seemed to work very well. But like I said, this movie takes place directly after the events of the 1973 massacre. The final girl that made it out alive, Sally, is coming back to take on Leatherface. In the middle of all this, there is a bunch of investors coming to the town of Harlow, Texas, where this took place. Harlow, Texas is now a ghost town, and they don't really say in the trailer what's going on and why they're there and why there's a group of investors, but you know, that's how you're supposed to do it with trailers, Marvel. You don't give away all your secrets. But anyways, she's back. We got a new cast of people that can get chopped up. And, we're going to see what happens with this thing. But I do have a real small concern, and that is this film is only 83 minutes long. That's not even, like, normal, like, Disney length films for animated features. So that's a little weird there. At least we don't have to see Leatherface as a crossdresser and a negligee with makeup that looks like it was done by Peter Jackson's bad taste.